What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Westin HDX Step. That's a hitch mounted step. So what it's going to do is go in your hitch and attach there and help you get a step to get up onto your roof to grab your cooler or whatever else you ever left up here. It's just a nice way of doing it instead of trying to hop up on your bumper or find something else difficult to stand on. Let's check it out. First thing I'm going to talk about with the step is how it feels when you're on it. So right away, it is kind of a narrow or shallow step. You can see now a lot of my foot makes it onto the step if I stood completely like this. Just kind of my toes. So you are kind of on your toes on this one. You can't get, I'd have to turn my boot like that to get on there and kind of get better footing that way, but that's not exactly an easy way to stand. Also, it's got the anti-rattle in there, but as I shift around, you can see it still moves around a little bit. It definitely helps it out, but you can see it does shift, so be careful if you are trying to walk. If you're looking up here at the roof and you're moving back and forth, just know that it is going to shift a little bit underneath you. Sticking with the step, let's look at the plate that you step on. Let's get some measurements and see what you're working with here. So it's about 4 inches there, 4 inches of width, and then we'll go length. Looks like 16 inches there. So that's how much space you have to step on. And like I said, this here is a little closer than I'd like it, so you don't really get your whole foot on there, but there is grip here at the bottom. I do appreciate that. You have these holes that's going to help you grip onto the boots. I could definitely feel that when I was up there. So if it does rain or it's a little bit muddy, at least you have something kind of aggressive for your boot to latch onto. Underneath, you'll see there is an anti-rattle device here. You have 3 spots you can use it with, along with 3 adjustment points in the shank too. So when you get it lined up to your hitch, you're going to run down the bolt and it's going to push up here on the bottom of your hitch. But just know that don't crank it down too much, because then this plate will still move back and forth and it kind of walks on us. So it walked a little bit here, and you can see where it's scratched up the bottom of the hitch. Not a huge deal, but just know that that's going to happen. The anti-rattle really does help with the up and down movement. You can see it doesn't jump up and down a lot when I try and get it to there. Now it will go side to side, but that's just going to happen with how lightweight the step is and the hitch pin that's in there. But it is useful. It does keep that, and it's going to keep it quiet when you're going down the road too. Now the step itself, this portion here is going to be a stainless steel, and then the rest of it's going to be a black powder coat finish, so you know that you can leave it on the back here all the time and the elements aren't going to get to it. It's not going to rust or corrode on you. Talking about the stainless steel, there is a different version of this that is going to be all black powder coat finish, so you can check that out on our website as well if that's more what you want to go with your vehicle. Another thing to consider is if you don't use your hitch all that much, the step's going to be good to help you reach anything that you put on the roof all the time. But if you do tow things and use your hitch quite a bit, you might be thinking you don't want to swap this out all the time and be kind of inconvenient. Well, Bulletproof Hitches does make a ball mount that's like a channel ball mount. You can swap out the ball with other accessories, so you could easily just swap out that one portion for the step, or even in some instances you can put the step on top of the ball as long as there's enough spacing and use them at the same time. So you're going to hop up on that step and not sacrifice having to, am I going to leave the ball mount in there, I'm going to leave the step in there. They can just both be in there at the same time and save you some time. One thing I do like is that the HDX step matches the HDX running boards. So if that's what you have on your vehicle, this is going to fit in just fine. I like that it will match here on the back step and the sides, because some of the times you go to get a hitch step, it's just a flat piece of metal. It doesn't look like it goes with the vehicle. And if you're gonna leave it on there all the time, you kind of want it to match what you got going with it. So if you have those running boards, this is gonna fit in great. Overall, I think it's be a very helpful thing to have. I mean, just using this step to get up here, I got one hand on the basket to grab this cooler. I can easily do that, even have one more step up. Now it's gonna be a little bit more narrow. I could even climb all the way to the bumper with it just to help me out to get to that cooler. So it is definitely useful. I don't tow a whole bunch, so this being on the back of the vehicle all the time would be just fine with me, although I guess I would have to swap it out when I go to take my bike to the park. So I will have to pull it out and put it back in, but it's not like it's that hard to do. You can just loosen it, leave it in the back of the vehicle, and you're good to go. Now if you tow all the time, I would look at that Bulletproof Hitches channel mounted ball mount with the step. That way you don't have to swap it out all the time. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.